Michael.
Yes. Hi. How are you? Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Michael.
Hi. So it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I hear you well. Hi.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you well.
Okay, good. So it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock on a Thursday. Today's topic is about why you're learning English. Why is anyone learning English? Why do I know English? So the thing is I don't know. I'm thinking 20 years ago, nobody knew English in Ukraine and Russia. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe you're right. Like, not a lot of people. Yeah, because we were living in USSR like for like 20 years ago, and there was no need to learn English because you would never go abroad to use it. Maybe that was the reason. I don't know.
But some people knew English. What kind of people learned English? There were some people who
Teachers, they learned English. Then maybe some KGB agents learn English. You know, those people they learn English for their work, not for maybe
for their work. You never know. I mean, how does spy? It takes a spy to catch a spy. Who's in my class? Dimitri, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Dimitri, where are you from?
Right now I'm in Moscow. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you. I can hear you well. So this is the first time.
And I'm studying. Yes,
Sorry?
I'm here for the first time. I'm here for the first time.
I hear you. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I was born in Belarus, but I'm studying in Lithuania, in Vilnius. And right now it's vacation time, so I'm in Moscow.
So you're in Moscow.
I'm 20 years old.
Okay. Who else is in my class here? I'm not really good at pronouncing names, but you know, I'll try.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
How do you say your name?
Nurdaulet. Nurdaulet.
Okay. So this is the first time I've seen you as well. Can you please tell me a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan. So I'm from Kazakhstan, and I'm learning English to prepare to IELTS. You know it?
Yes, I prepare a lot of people for the IELTS test.
So I'm here for the first time to prepare my speaking section of IELTS exam. In autumn I will have IELTS test, so that's why I'm here.
Okay, so how many roughly the population in Kazakhstan? How many of those people speak English?
There is 17 million people in Kazakhstan, but I don't know exactly how many people speak English. But I think it's I can surely say 4 million people can speak English. I don't know exactly.
So in Kazakhstan, you have your Kazakh language, and most people speak Russian too, I suppose, right? All right. Who else is in my class here? Logan. Logan, are you there?
Hey, what's up?
Hello. Where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan too.
Kazakhstan too.
Like Nurdolet, yes. City is Karaganda.
And I heard of that city before. I had a student from there.
Salam, Logan.
So
Who else is in my class here? Anastasia. Anastasia? No, nice. Is that right?
Hi.
Hi. Can you please pronounce your name? I have a hard time pronouncing names.
My name is Anastasia.
Anastasia. I was close enough. So, you know, I try my best.
May I say something?
Yeah.
You can call Anastasia like Nastya. Am I right, Nastya?
Oh, yes.
You can call like Nastya. Her.
I know it's short. And okay, so Nastya, Anastasia. Where are you from?
It's
I'm
easier, right?
from Russia.
From Russia. What city?
What did you say?
Which city?
City.
I don't understand, sorry.
City. St. Petersburg, Moscow, Siberia.
Город.
Oh, from Chelyabinsk.
Oh, where is this?
My town is Chelyabinsk.
What part of Russia is this? Is this? I guess. Can anyone tell me? No one knows.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never been to Russia, so I wouldn't know. And who else is in my class here? Romero. Did I get your name correct?
Yes, that's right. Hello.
Yeah. So where are you from?
I'm from Russia, Moscow.
Moscow. Okay, a couple people from Moscow today. And who else did I miss? Okay, Logan. I don't think I missed you. All right. So today, why are you learning English? I mean, we're all here for one reason, to improve our English skills. I was talking to Yvonne there. You know, 20 years ago, no one needed English. Someone tell me, why do we need English today? Why is it so important? Dimitri, maybe you can tell me why?
As for me, English important because I study international law, so it's important to know English because I need to read some legal literature, legal books in English. So I need it for studying.
How do you understand international law when it's written for that country? Isn't that hard to understand because
It's very difficult to understand, but I do my best.
I
like it. I like it. It's interesting for me.
Okay. And Logan, why? Think of another reason. Why do we need English?
I think because English it's all the people in the world speak English, and I think it's very important for I don't know what to say. Sorry.
Well, where are you going to use English? Where will you use English? When I say where, like, are you going to be moving to a country that speaks English? Are you going to be talking to people who speak English? There's always a reason of why we learn something in life. Are you going to be using it for traveling?
For traveling.
For traveling?
Yes.
Okay. Anastasia, I mean, people in your city, roughly, how many of those people speak English? Is it not many? Just a few? Or how is the English level there?
It's a question for me? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I think I learn English because I want to be an exchange student. I want to read book on English, and I want to understand film on English.
How many people watch any films in English? Anyone? Anastasia, what films did you watch? Any films in English? I mean, Anastasia, let's be honest, you're probably watching them in Russian, correct? Has anyone ever tried to watch a movie in English?
I watch American Dad.
Dimitri, what did you watch?
American Dad. It's a series like cartoon, but for adults.
American Dad. Okay, I understand that. And so So do you watch it in Russian and English, or just in English?
From time to time. Sometimes I watch it in English. If I don't understand it, I use English subs. But usually I understand it well.
So you're saying usually you understand it well in English?
Usually, yes.
Usually. You know the problem is phrasal verbs, expressions.
Yes, there are a lot of slang, and sometimes I need to rewatch it again to understand it better.
Well, don't forget, I mean, in North America, it's a different mentality. You know, it's like asking me to write a Russian movie. I wouldn't know how to even start, because I don't know how people think. So it would be very difficult for me. People think differently. Who else watches movies in English? Anyone else? Someone said besides Dimitri.
I watch a couple films in English.
What do you watch?
James Bond. Especially if I watch some film in English, obviously I use Russian subtitles.
Subtitles.
Subtitles, yeah, right. Thanks.
So you have Russian subtitles?
Yes.
What about without the subtitles? How well do you understand?
Actually, a lot, but if I understand what I miss something, I return film some later.
Repeat. You repeat.
Yeah, repeat film and send stop.
Do you find the actors they talk too fast for you?
In some films, yes, but actually not. They not speak too fast, then I can understand what they say.
Well, I could see it could be sometimes a problem because you know they're speaking their own language and they're speaking their own rate of speed, I guess we can say. Who else is in my class here? Hold on, you got a really long name, Cal.
No, it's my surname. My name is Dmitry. Hello.
Dimitri, another Dimitri. Okay, I can say your first name, I guess. So the topic, Dimitri, I'm gonna have to remember your name here and not call you by your last name. It's just about why we're all learning English. There is a reason. I mean, look, back in 20 years ago, how many people do you think in Eastern Europe spoke English? How many people?
I think a lot of people.
20 years ago.
Oh, not so much, I think.
Why? Everyone else in the world spoke English. Why not 20 years ago in Eastern Europe?
Why? Because we live in another country, and for us, we didn't need this language.
So how would you communicate with people? Sign language?
I think Soviet Union don't want to communicate with other nations.
You know that's an interesting idea. If you don't want people to communicate, don't give them the language. But that could backfire. That could change. So what could you use instead if no one spoke English?
Repeat this question.
I asked if no one spoke English, what could we use today instead to communicate with people?
Today?
Today, sure.
Yeah, today we need this language.
No, but I meant that if they didn't want anyone to learn English, people could just still use Google Translate. You never had Google Translate 20 years ago, did you? There was no Google 20 years ago.
I cannot answer.
Dimitri, you said something there or no?
What?
No.
No, I thought, okay, because I just noticed you said that you said something, but maybe it's just an error. So, what is our level anyways nowadays? Would you say who is intermediate? Can we say like most people in Eastern Europe? Well, we'll talk about Russia and Kazakhstan, since the majority of people today. Can we say that the level is intermediate or pre-intermediate? What could we say the level is at? I'm thinking it's at intermediate level.
I think it's lower.
Lower?
Yes.
Why is it so
depends
low?
on-
I mean, you learn it at school? What happened to the education system?
For example, I didn't learn English in school. I learned German. So
A lot of people tell me that they learn German. How come they learn German instead of English? Why?
I really don't know why, but we learn German and also English. Not
What do you
only
think?
English.
What do you think is more important?
English, of course.
You can use English in America. I don't think you can use German.
Yes, I agree.
What about forgetting? Okay, who else? Anastasia. What about at school? Did they teach this Surjik English at school, or how do they teach English at school? How old are you, by the way?
How old?
Yes.
How old at me?
I'm
How
16.
old am I? Yes.
I don't know.
Well, you gotta have an age, Anastasia. Everyone, are you? Someone said 16. I don't know. Are you 16 years old?
15.
15. All right. So how did they teach you? I'll slow down for you. How do they teach you English now? How are your teachers? Are they teaching you English?
I learn English in school.
Okay. And how do you think you're learning? Do you think you're learning anything, or do you think your teachers are bad?
Good teacher in Russian.
Is it a Russian teacher or a teacher from America? What kind of teacher? Is it a Russian teacher?
I think Russian teacher is good, probably.
Now, who else has been taught by a native speaker, where they went to university or they're now in university and they had a native speaker?
I'm now studying in Nazarbayev Intellectual School now, so that's why I'm being taught with international teachers.
So how do you think they compare to teachers that are domestic, teachers from local teachers? Well, what do the native teachers have an advantage? You know what I mean by advantage?
Yes.
So can you tell me?
From them we can easily learn how to pronounce words. But that is the first advantage, I think. How to pronounce a word, how to make a sentences, or how to talk about something. So I mean, it's more easier to learn English with native speakers than English teachers, local English teachers.
Well, what if you need translation? I mean, can't those teachers translate into Russian easier? Because a lot of native speakers don't speak Russian well.
Okay, can you repeat?
I said a lot of native English speakers, they don't speak Russian. So isn't that a trouble? Is it trouble sometimes because maybe you don't know the word they're saying?
No, it's not a problem, because when they don't know some words in Russian, or when they don't know how to say something in Russian or in Kazakh, we'll be trying to translate our sentences into English and try to speak English. So that's why it helps to study English faster, I think. This is advantage for me personally. It's advantage.
Okay.
think.
And what kind of practice do you have? I mean, in Kazakhstan, there's not many people. I mean, how many? I mean, what kind of practice can you get there? I'm guessing you don't have much practice.
Yeah.
So the problem is that people forget sometimes, right? If they don't use it. And Dimitri number 2. There's 2 Dimitri. So are you learning English at school too? Or are you in a university? I don't know.
Yeah, I learned English at school, but it was not so successful. I continued learning in university, but it was same. Actually, when I finished university, I understand that English is necessary in my life, and I go to the special course. Yeah, like school, and only in that situation I understand English.
What's the problem that you have in university and at school? What don't you
No, at school, at university, we have like a standard program. This program was in Soviet Union and continue in Ukraine. And I think this program doesn't work, and we need something special. For example, when I was, I know a lot of teachers speak only in English. For example, from first lesson, when they cannot explain some words, they used language of body, and in this like atmosphere, I think English is easier.
Oh, you hear a different accent.
What?
You hear a different accent. Accent. You know what accent is?
Accent.
Yeah, I understand.
Sometimes in people who speak first language Russian, they speak English. Sometimes for me, it's a hard time to understand them because they have this thick Russian accent. And it's difficult for me to understand them. That can be difficult too. If you learn it from Russian teacher, you might not understand an American, but I have hard time understanding some American people too. It depends. It depends on the person. Some people speak really fast, and it's not good. Romero, are you there? Romero. Hello. Can you?
Yes.
So how are you learning English yourself? Or is the same problem like Dimitri was saying, or did you have better luck maybe at school?
Yeah, I learned some English in school, but most
Mostly.
Most what I learn English is in games. I mean, what I play in games and in English, and hear some English speech and no, sometimes understand, sometimes read the subtitles.
Okay. So you say when you're playing games, you're reading it you're listening in English, correct?
Yes, and multiplayer games.
But wouldn't you be listening to them in Russian because most people it's multi-language, correct?
Excuse me, please say it again.
I said, wouldn't you be by default listening in Russian because it usually all these games are multi-language, and I think, for example, War of Tanks, made in Belarus, most people, if you look at the Russian community, they're not speaking English. They're only speaking in Russian. I wonder why. Maybe because Russians I think they're mostly comfortable with. So you're not seeing English really there. So I guess what I'm trying to say is people use the language they're most comfortable with. All right, but
Yes.
go ahead.
especially people playing the server, and if they choose server of their country, they have low ping. But if they haven't server in, actually I have not a Russian server in game what I played, and I need to play in German servers. And
yeah, you can speak in English then.
yeah, and they actually says in English, but with German accent, and sometimes it's hard to understand.
Well, which nationality is the hardest to understand in English for you?
Russian.
Okay, so I mean Russian-speaking English, I hope, right? Okay.
Yes.
So, because sometimes it can be a problem. Who else can tell me what nationality they have from what country they have a problem understanding people? I'm gonna say for me it's gonna be like Australia. Very difficult to understand. Maybe someone else can tell me.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you, my teacher.
Anyone else? So another.
I had some problems with Spanish people because they speak so fast, and I cannot understand.
No, I think Spanish is clear for me. I can understand Australian English, so like you.
I had problems when I was in the Emirates with Arabs who speak English. It's really difficult to understand. Very strong, terrible accent. It's terrible.
I agree. You're gonna have different accent. I mean, I've had some students where they told me they don't want an accent. You know, I don't want my what was it they said? I don't want my Russian accent. Well, you have a Russian accent because you're from Russia. What do you expect? You know, like you expect a miracle? Well, why do people from England have a British accent? Why, Jahol? Because they're from British. Why do Canadians have a Canadian accent? Because they're from Canada. Who has heard someone from Eastern Europe with a British accent? Who has heard that before?
No.
I heard.
Who said that?
I heard me.
Was it strange for you? Can you describe? Like, I think it's really.
For the first time, it was some strange. Yeah. After that, how to say? It's now good. It's now how to say? It's clear for me.
It's clear.
Because I'm being taught taught by them. So my teachers are American teachers and British who speak British English and American English.
But I had one student who had a British accent, and I kept thinking he was from Britain. I kept thinking, where are you from in Britain? No, I'm not from Britain. I'm from Kiev. My mind didn't register because I would never meet a Canadian who could have a British accent unless they were born in Britain. You know, it just never registered in my head. Who else is in my class here? Who else? Who is this? We've got a lot of people here.
I'm Alla.
Alla?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did I say your name right? Alla. Alla. Okay, hopefully. Alla, where are you from?
I'm from Spain. I'm Russian.
Okay. So I just kind of all right. So the topic today is why we're all learning English. Why do we need it? What is your reason? Everyone has their own reason. Alla, what is your reason? Don't you need Spanish? You need English?
You know, I need to find a job, and I need to study English because it's very popular here. And knowing English, you can easily find a job.
So how do people speak in English there in Spain? Like, can you describe their English for us?
Yes, they have difficulty with the pronunciation.
Okay, so difficulties in pronunciation, I heard that. Anything else?
Yes, and grammar and remembering things. Although English and Spanish are almost similar for me, as Russian, I see that it's very similar, but they have many problems with it. That's why I decided to find a job connected with English.
And who else? Albina? Did I get your name correct?
Yes, it's right. Hi to all. I was listening all opinion who was talking.
Who's
Who
talking?
was telling? Yeah, before. Yeah, I agree with Kalashnik. I don't know exactly name. Excuse me. Yeah, because I agree with him because we have maybe we have trouble in education system, in university school. I don't know exactly. I mean educational foundation. Yeah, I need English because it gives me it widen horizon for me in job, in my surrounding maybe. For example, if I don't learn English, I would not be here now, and I don't know all people who is in the chart. Yeah, and yeah.
Where are you from? I don't even know where you're from.
I'm from Uzbekistan. Maybe you know or not.
Where?
From Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
I know where Uzbekistan is. So how,
Yeah.
in that region, how many people speak English there?
Do you mean in my country?
Yeah, someone said our neighbor. I guess to Kazakhstan there, right? So
yeah.
Excuse
me. I think Uzbekistan, Russia, and Uzbekistan have the same situation about English. Not all people know English, but a lot of people try to know it because they need for job, for study. I think the same.
Well, at the least people need basic English, right? Because they need to communicate. We're not looking for scholars here that need an A1 in marketing, unless you use it every day. That could be an issue with some people, because people don't use English every day. Okay, if they do, who uses English every single day? Who speaks in English every day? Can someone tell me who does? No one?
Trouble in my computer now. Excuse me. Oh, wait.
Nobody here.
Yeah, I will. I will come now. Excuse me. Okay. It's cooler system. It's called cooler system. I have problem. Yeah.
Sometimes it freezes. It could be this happening. All right. Well, if you need to reconnect, you can reconnect. So who uses English every day? Anyone? Who's from Uzbekistan? Wait a minute, I got another person from Uzbekistan. Who is this?
No, I was telling to Albina that I'm also from Uzbekistan. I live there.
So many students from so many countries, I can't remember now. All right, so who is the? Okay, yeah, you're from Uzbekistan. Okay, so you were living there. But the thing is the problem that I find with teaching English is, like, if you're watching movies, if you're watching a lot of stuff from different countries, try not to analyze the slang, because if you use the slang, you probably don't understand it. And even if you think you understand it, you probably will not understand it unless you're in the country for a long period of time. Because I see a lot of people, they're using a lot of slang and a lot of words from America, and they're using it incorrectly. So my best advice is, if you don't understand it, don't use it. Because someone had a T-shirt on them probably a month ago, and it said "Moody Cow." Can someone explain to me what a moody cow is? Maybe somebody knows what this means. Anyone? Take a guess. Logan, Dimitri, anyone? Take a guess. What does it mean? Moody cow was on the T-shirt of this person.
Can you write it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can write it.
I don't know the spelling because I don't know.
Okay. So I don't think you would buy it.
I know what's cow. Moody. I don't know what's this.
Okay, so if you saw a T-shirt with the writing "Moody Cow" and you didn't know what it meant, would you buy it?
No.
Good, because this person did. Does anyone other can take a guess of what "Moody Cow" means? Nobody.
Maybe sad cow, sad, something like that. No.
Close enough, Dimitri. It's actually a big fat cow. Okay, so the woman was she was a little bit heavy duty, but it said moody cow, so I would think it's offensive, you know? A woman on a Volkswagen station here in Kiev had a T-shirt called Moody Cow, and I don't think she knew what it said, because if she did, I don't think she would have worn it. So I thought it was funny, but a lot of people don't know what they're even reading by the looks of it as well. What about traveling? Who has traveled to another country besides the people who have went to Spain and etc. etc.? Anyone else been to another country?
I was.
Where were you?
I was in Australia.
And communicating with the people? Can you tell us what problems you had? What difficulties?
In Australia, all people talking is in German.
What? Were you in Australia or Germany?
Oh, no. Sorry. Austria.
Austria?
Yes. I was in Austria and France, USA. I was in England, Scotland, and Russia.
In England, where were you in England? Because remember, in different parts of England, they have different dialects. Did you have any trouble understanding an Englishman?
No, I know some words. It's different.
Like in Americano English.
Maybe. Sorry, excuse me. Can you...
American English. You know, sometimes they say me mom. Who has heard this? Me mom before.
Me mom?
Me mom. Nobody? Anastasia? I haven't talked to you.
Me mom, does it mean I am a mother?
No, it means my mom. Yeah. So in English we would say my mother, but in British they use like me mom, and like they'll say, do you have a fag? And at first I didn't understand what the English person was talking about. Hey, please, no capturing the smiles here. The flash hurts my eyes. So, what is a fag in British English? Does anyone know? Anyone know?
Do you have a cigarette?
Yeah, a cigarette. Please, no cameras here. Yeah, do you have a cigarette? It means. So, in English, we just say cigarette or a cig. Well, in British English, they use fag. So, I had a hard time understanding that. Logan, anything else? Did you have a hard time in England, maybe with comprehension or anything? Can you tell us? Logan.
Yes. I think words like dance or dance and dancing. It's how to say?
Say it in Russian. Someone can always translate, since most of the people here speak Russian.
Окей. То, что в Англии говорят как танцы, it's dancing. In England,
dancing.
It's dancing. Yes. In America, it's dance.
Dance. Well,
I think British English it's the most clean. I think so.
British?
Yes.
Yeah, it originally from Britain, so I suppose you're correct there. But dance, I don't know. Like I would understand both. Dancing would be in the present continuous form. Dance just
No. Just dance or dance. In England, say dance.
okay. Does anyone feel the difference? For me, I don't hear a difference. Does anyone have a trouble, or everyone's good?
How do you pronounce this word? Dance or dance?
Dance. In England, say to dance.
I want to dance.
Yeah, I want to dance. In America, say to dance. I want to dance.
I say dance.
I say dance, and I'm from Canada. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit different there. Anyone else been to a country and they had a hard time understanding the people? In English, of course. No? No one else? Who else is in... Who is in my class? Leia?
Lilia.
Leia, are you there?
She's invisible. Huh?
She's invisible. No, I see a little bit of a silhouette.
Ah, yeah. I can see.
Are you there? Knock, knock. No? Okay. Anyone else who has a problem? No?
For example, can I say?
Yep.
Yeah, for example, there is a word in British English is direction, in American is direction or opposite. I don't know.
Direction.
Yeah.
Can I have the directions, please? I would use direction, but depending on your dialect, you might use direction. They might stress.
I say direction.
I mean, I guess it's in Russian, like how you stress certain letters. You know, like you have hard and soft, right? Vowels. So certain stresses, right? Maybe you would see the difference, but for me, it's hard to as well.
Who speak direction? Who said direction? English or British English or American English?
Direction, as I say, it would be American.
And direction is British English, I guess.
I guess, but it would depend on what part of Britain, because remember, people from like Liverpool, Blackpool, they have different accents, so some people from Liverpool are very hard to understand, so they could have a different accent on the Pacific letter.
Okay, I understand.
There you go. Anastasia, are you there?
Yes.
Good. All right, so I'm going to speak a little slower with you, right? So, again, what parts of English are you having trouble with? What areas do you want to improve in? How will you use English so you won't forget it?
I'm sorry, I have one question.
Yeah.
So, talk to is for conversation or for relationships?
Talk to. I don't understand. What do you mean?
I don't know.
If I use
someone say talk to is relationship, but someone talk to is for conversation, for talking.
You may say in Russian. I can translate it.
That is not about Russian language, that's about American, how I guess. In America, I heard it on the internet, they say talk to, and they mean not talking, they mean relationship, love between young people. For example, they talk to, it means they had relationship. I think that's the point about this question.
So I don't know, like we can use like I want to talk to, or like I don't know what you're really talking about, or talk or talk to. But Anastasia, to elaborate. So what will you do so that you won't forget English? What are some of the things that you will do? Because there is a saying, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Anastasia, are you there?
Oh, what did you say? I'm sorry.
So how will you remember English so that you don't forget it? I mean, isn't that a problem that everyone has? Is if what will they do if they forget English? You know, how do you refresh your memory? How do you keep English intact so you don't forget it? Because a lot of people tell me they remember English, they learned it, but they forgot it. Does everyone understand what I mean?
Yes, I think it's a couple months or more, because in our city we can't go outside and tell and speak with the first man or ask him something. And nobody understands me because we don't our people not learn English, and we need to go to special courses for just talking like these lessons.
So how many people here have forgot English and had to go back to remember? I think it has happened to everybody. Anyone? Has anyone forgotten English? Can someone feedback? Albina, I think I'm getting
Yes.
feedback. Sorry, Albina, I had to mute you there for a second.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, right.
But
So-
I didn't listen to the question. Maybe for me, no.
No, this was a general.
Okay, great.
Sorry, guys. So try to figure out. Everyone, just mute your microphone if you're not going to talk. 1 second.
What are you doing?
I'm muting people's microphone because I hear myself. So if you want to speak, just unmute and remute. Okay, so that I don't get any feedback. So the question was, we forget English sometimes, but what can we do to remember English so that we don't forget? And some people say to take a refresher course. But what exactly is a refresher course? Like, does that mean going to speaking clubs? Does that mean taking an extra course? It's like I was saying, a lot of people are forgetting English, and they took a lot of classes, and they missed a lot of. Yeah, I'm hearing this. Does everyone hear some feedback? Am I getting? Because they can.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah. 1 second, guys. Okay, let me try again. No, I still hear myself. Okay, I'm gonna mute. Hold on, just a second. I do apologize if something is feedback. Let's try again. Just a second, please. That's better. Okay, well, I'm gonna we only have 12 minutes. So what are people doing before they do forget English? Let's list some of the things that they do. Albina. Maybe Albina. I'm gonna mute you again because I'm mute. Bear with me. Okay. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So Albina, there's a problem with your connection. That's why I'm hearing myself. There's a repetition there. Okay, so everyone else, you can unmute your microphone. Albina, I'm just telling you it's he has no headphones now. Okay. Okay. So what can we do to remember English? What are some things that we can do so we're not taking courses, 2 years later, so that we can remember English because we spent all that money to begin with?
Can I say?
Yep, sure.
Actually, for not forgetting English, I write in vocabulary. I write my vocabulary some words, and sometimes I repeat them, or actually see some films on or go in different countries and just practice English.
Okay, so if you're watching a movie in English, does it help you to speak better? Because I don't understand. Because I don't have this problem. Everyone else does because it's my native language, right? So, like what I'm saying is this: when you're watching a movie, does it help you to remember some words? Maybe you can explain.
I don't remember some words, but I can hear how right to say something. I mean.
What about pronunciation? I think the biggest thing is maybe pronunciation or constructing the sentences.
Excuse me. Can you say it again?
Yeah, I'm thinking the biggest problem that you would have would be pronunciation, because maybe back then you would remember the pronunciation, and now it would be harder for you. Do you ever you know what I mean? Like you would have that problem pronouncing the word because you haven't done it in so long. Do you understand what I mean or no?
I don't understand my word. And then I lose all sentence.
Who else understands what I mean when you're trying to remember the pronunciation but you don't? Like maybe a film would help you. What helps you to remember how to pronounce the word, how to construct? Because a lot of people tell me that they forget how to construct sentences. They forget totally how to forget sentences. They forget what pronoun to use, what verb to use, what action verb, what object. Does anyone have this problem where they forget after a while, or this doesn't happen to them?
May I say?
Yep, you can speak, as long as your microphone is working.
Yes, I think the pronunciation is not so big problem for us, because maybe it is a problem for native speakers who heard our speech. But for us who learn English, the big problem is vocabulary and speak, because you may learn a lot of words, but it's very difficult to use the words. Yeah, and we very often translate Russian speech to English before we speak it. Yeah, and English and any language is like a sport. If you stop to train your English, you lost.
You lose your train of thought. Does anyone know what this means? Look.
May you type the word?
Yeah, I'll type it.
Okay. Right.
Someone didn't do it before me.
Yeah.
You're trying to think of the word and you screw up and you got to go back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And who said it's difficult to learn phrasal verbs? Who said this?
Yeah, so any words. When sometimes my teacher or someone asks me what the word means, or do you know the word, I may say, yes, I know, I can give a translation, but when I speak, I don't use the new words or any words. I know what I should do.
But a lot of phrasal verbs, look, if we're talking about phrasal verbs, they don't translate the same in Russian. It's like, get up, put up. I don't think.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Phrasal verbs.
You can't, when you're learning phrasal verbs, you can't analyze the individual word. Like someone says, get up. What am I getting, and is it going up, like in the air? No, 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 no. You have to analyze the both words usually. Put down, you know, like these kind of words, it screws people's brains up. Plus metaphors. Metaphors are very hard for some people to understand as well. And what about learning more than 3 languages? How many people know more than 3 languages? Who knows more than 3 languages?
I know English, Russian, and Belarusian.
Oh, Belarus. Okay, Belarus. Wait a minute. Belarus. How different is this than the Russian language?
It's different. Some Russians understand about, I think, 60% of it. But for example, I understand Ukrainian also very, very well. I can speak it, but I understand it. I don't know, 99%. It's very easy to understand.
Yeah. Some people tell me too from Russia they can't understand Ukrainian, but no, they can understand a bit, but they can't read it. That was the.
I can read it. I can read
Oh, you can read it.
Great. Yes.
I have a look in English. You don't pronounce every single letter. In Russian, you do, and that's the hardest part for a lot of people. Like they look at the word physician, right? There's no there's no F. It's a P. And people have a very hard time to understand that, and they want to say position. It's not position, it's position. And who asks me, what does turn up mean? Okay, so like we can say, turn up the heat. Like maybe it's cold, outside, right? And someone say, can you turn the heat up? Right? So turn up means to put it up. Okay? So that explains it. And is it appear? I don't know. Is it appear? What does appear? I don't understand what the. Just hold on. Nisha. Sorry, that's my cat. All right.
May you show her or he? The cat, I mean.
You know what? Everyone always wants to see my cat, and it's not a part of this lesson, but I have a rabbit too. But I'm sorry that sometimes it interrupts my lesson. But what can I do? It's a British full cat. So is it clear? Does turn up mean appear? No. Turn up means to change a state. Like I said, to turn up the heat. Turn the volume up. Okay, so we can use turn up the volume. Does this make sense? Turn up, to turn up the volume. Like on your, I don't know, on your MP3 player, on your phone, we can turn it up. It's not going up in the air. We're using it as a phrasal verb. And some of these, I'll probably have a topic on phrasal verbs. Sometimes it's difficult to explain them, but we had a great topic on it again, so maybe I'll cover it. But if you guys need a topic on phrasal verbs, I can do it, but it's very difficult to explain because it's different mentality as well. All right. So it is close to 10 o'clock. We had a lot of people in the classroom today. So sometimes I can't get to everyone. Sometimes I can't talk to everyone. If you have something to say for next time, speak. As long as you don't interrupt people and there's nothing wrong with your microphone, okay? Because we're okay. Because when I hear myself, I don't even know what I'm saying. I just hear myself, and it's like a feedback issue, right? So then it doesn't really make the class good. So, are there any questions for me? Do I speak too fast for anyone, or am I understandable? Do you understand my Canadian accent?
Yes, very well.
Good. That's what I want to hear. All right.
Your accent is well, but your speech is very fluently.
Very.
Maybe for me, maybe it is only for me. I don't know exactly, but you speak fast, yeah.
A little fast. Well, I have to. I don't want to go too slow, And I don't want to go too fast, because if I go too slow, if someone speaks too fast, then you're not going to understand them. So I try to go in the middle. And do all Canadian people speak like you? What do you mean? Explain.
Because it's clear when you're speaking. So I felt it's Canadian accent is clear for me if they all speak like you.
No, they don't. The problem is a lot of people in North America, they can't speak properly because of illiteracy. All right? So I had a job where I needed to speak good, okay? And I worked on that. So it had to do like with photonics and stuff like that. Photonics I really can't teach. You need a photonics teacher for that. That's very difficult. Like I can get a little bit into it, but I'm not a master at it. But I dealt with, I worked for one of the largest call centers in the world. I worked for NCO Corporation, and I was in the IT department, so I had to all the time communicate with people in management. So you have to sound good. You have to sound professional. And to be honest, the only people that really sounded professional were from the Philippines.
Sorry, something was wrong with my internet connection.
So they were from the Philippines. So people from the Philippines, they probably had the best English. Don't ask me.
Can you repeat?
Really?
People from the Philippines had the best English.
It's a country.
Yes, the Philippines.
Okay.
Don't ask why, but I can just tell you that is my opinion. Okay? So they are very good. In fact, they speak better than we do in Canada. Plus, I had to do some seminars and stuff like that. I'm always doing seminars. I'm always speaking in public. So, you know, you have to prepare.
Do you mean pronunciation as well, or what? Maybe academic words they use?
The Philippines, they understand our mentality for some reason better than anyone else. See, the Japanese understand Western mentality the most, but that country, they do not speak good English. So that is very surprising. Every time they will speak in pure Japanese, but they do understand the mentality. So it's kind of different. In the Philippines, they understand us, and they can speak very well. So maybe it's their educational system. Я не знаю. I don't know. Okay, so the next lesson will be next Thursday at the same time. It's 9 o'clock Kiev time, so I don't know what, you know, Russia and Kazakhstan, they all have different time zones. I have no idea what time zones they are at. For private lessons, I teach at a lot of schools. I do teach at a couple schools in Kiev as well. Private lessons, if you need any from me, something specific, you need to look at my schedule, because my schedule constantly changes, and this class is just a general conversation class. It's a very big class. I want to, you know, slow it a little bit so I can get more people to speak. But if this is your first time here, you know, come back so that you can get more practice. So usually I won't do the introduction again. So I'm going to wrap it up. It's 10:02. Okay, so it's 10:02 and 10 p.m. Remember, in Ukraine, well, in America and Canada, we use p.m. and a.m.
Yeah,
yeah, we know.
Yeah, you guys like to use 22 o'clock. You know, we call that military time because the military uses it. So, are there any questions? Are there any questions for me? Who wants to see my cat?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second. I'll show you.
Прикольный чувак.
Yeah. The speech as well. Мне
This is my cat.
слушать нравится.
This is a Mishka. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
The Mishka. Does it look like a Mishka?
He's very fat.
Does anyone know what kind of cat he is? Does anyone know what kind of breed? He is a... Sorry.
this is she or he?
It is a he.
He, okay.
It's a big up there from like Marsha in Midbit, you know, that cartoon.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, ask me.
It's now in Kazakhstan. It's how does 12 p.m. or a.m.?
It would be
It's-
12 a.m. since it's morning.
It's because
Morning.
4 minutes past
A.m.
a.m. Okay,
It is
thanks.
a.m. That's what we say in Canada. So that's just how it works in that country. I'm not used to 16 o'clock, 18 o'clock. I don't use it, but I kind of understand now in my head. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
There's a phrasal verb for you. Wrap it up. I like to use that. Wrap it up.
Please.
Yeah, I'll type it for you, sure.
And may I ask you one question?
Yes, you can.
Why are you here? I mean, why it is interest for you to teach people who in the site, I don't know, in the resource?
I'm in Kiev now. My background is Ukrainian as well. So my grandparents, my dioshka, they all came from Ukraine on the western side. So I want to see Ukraine with my own eyes. So you know, I come from this country, so I want to see it again. So that's why I'm here, and I don't know how long I will stay, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. So I want to teach people English because I also did script writing as well. So you know, I kind of know how to do some screenplaying. I'm not a professional, but you know, I'm always trying to write some new things. And no one ever proposed anything to me, but it kind of makes me think in English differently, right? Because when I'm writing, I'm not using any type of grammar rule. I'm making a lot of mistakes when I write a screenplay, and what I do is I go back in the screenplay and then I correct them. Or an editor does that. In fact, many screenplay writers, they make lots of mistakes because to get your idea, you have to write fast, you know, and then you get someone to correct it after. That's how it is usually. So kind of interesting for me. Any other questions? Going once, twice? So, all right. Okay. So if you guys like me, see me next Thursday at the same time, 9 o'clock Kiev time. So everyone, or 10 o'clock Moscow time, okay? So everyone, have a good evening. I guess I'll say до свидания. Bye for now.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.